So it may be 2 weeks from now, maybe 3 years from now. Either way, hopefully all of us in this room are going to eventually be walking across the stage, shaking Dr. Dove's hands, and receiving our diploma. So it's going to be really exciting. It's something we've been working for a really long time. But after all that excitement settles down, we need to figure out what we're going to do for the rest of our lives. Hopefully the diploma will kind of give us a hint as to what job we're going to have, but we still have so many options as to where we can live. So I'm going to persuade you that after you graduate, you should move to Des Moines. Now, I'm maybe a little bit biased because I've grown up there and I've absolutely loved living there. And I'd be completely willing to live there after I graduate. But I'm not the only one who thinks this, and I'm going to show you some real reasons why you should live in Des Moines and some facts that support my view. And so when you're deciding on a place to live after you graduate, two of the most important things that you need to think about are the culture of the place that you're going to be living in and the economy of the place. The economy is really important because you have loans to pay off, you have to pay for your food, you have to pay for rent and all these different things. In order to pay for those things, you need money, and your student loans are going to start coming due about 6 months after you graduate. So it's important to move to a place that has a good economy and has a lot of job opportunities. The culture is also a really important aspect of where you're going to live because you're going to have more free time. You're not going to be studying all the time, you're not going to be working all the time, and so you need something entertaining besides Netflix to pass the time. And going to a place that has a really good culture is important because it allows you to experience more of the world and to meet people that you wouldn't necessarily meet. And Des Moines is a perfect fit for both of these criteria. So as I was doing research on Des Moines, I saw a bunch of different surveys and just ratings of the best places to live. And so you can see that Forbes this year has ranked Des Moines the #2 best place for jobs. And last year it was ranked the best city for young professionals to live in. And it was ranked by Polycom as the top metropolitan area in the whole entire country for the economy. And it's the top city for college graduates, or #3 city for college graduates. And so all of these ratings are based on the combination of the strong economy, good jobs, and also the culture aspect. So this shows I'm not the only one who believes in. There's lots of experts who agree with me. So Des Moines' economy is really strong. The chart showed how it's one of the strongest economies, and it also has a really low cost of living. Area Vibes is a website that I saw, and it compares the statistics about a lot of different aspects of living in different cities, and it says that the cost of living in Des Moines is 13.7% lower than the national average. So that means you can get a lot more things for the money that you're earning. So this chart shows the relative percentages of how much cheaper things are going to be in Des Moines and in Iowa. So really the doctor and haircut's the only things that's going to be slightly more expensive than the national average, but everything else, especially like the agricultural products, are going to be way cheaper. So that means you can save more money and put more money towards your future and put more money towards paying off your student loans. And Des Moines culture is also really interesting because it has a really rich culture of fine arts and politics especially, as well as a lot of other different aspects to it. Des Moines is like the largest city in Iowa, and it's the largest one for a couple hours around, and so we get a lot of really big names that will come through here. We have about 5 Broadway tours that will come through every year, and so I've seen Les Miserables and Wicked and a couple other different shows, and that's one of my favorite things that I like to do when I'm downtown. We also have the Des Moines Symphony, as you can see down there, and they play every couple different concerts throughout the year, and they've got a youth symphony that some of my friends were involved in, and both my orchestra teachers in high school are part of the Des Moines Symphony, and it just provides really high quality entertainment, and it's a little bit classy too. That's not necessarily very classy at the top, but it's the picture of Ozzy Osbourne. It's the concert where he bit the head off a bat, and this took place in Des Moines, and so it's just kind of a random example of some funny things that happen in Des Moines, and it shows that we get really big name people, even though we're a relatively small metropolitan area. Des Moines is also really interesting if you're interested in politics. Iowa is the very first place that has a caucus before the presidential elections, so that means pretty much any candidate who's interested in trying to get a nomination for their party is going to come to Iowa, and is going to put on rallies and put on speakers. So because of this, I've probably heard more presidential nominees or actual presidents speaking than anybody in this room, and I haven't even voted for president yet. So that's just an interesting fact. I've heard Michelle Bachmann, Sarah Palin, and George W. Bush speaking, and I've lived there for about 12 years. And so if you're really interested in politics, then this is a really great place for you to be involved. And then the fine arts aspect is a really great place. Even if those two things aren't something that you're super, super excited about, there's still a lot of other different aspects that are really great about Des Moines. We've got some minor league baseball teams, and we've got a lot of other just interesting facts that will happen. We've got like the running things that happen, like the Living History Farms race that I told you about in my other speech, and a lot of just like quirky, fun little things that will take place in Des Moines. So I've told you how Des Moines has got a really great economy, and it has a really great, unique culture. And it has the politics, and it's got the fine arts. And so those are things that take place and are common for a lot of different cities. So you're probably wondering why Des Moines is one of the best of these. And so just to show you this, I'm going to compare Des Moines to Kansas City, which is the town nearby, or it's about 3 hours away, and to show you how the amenities of Des Moines are at the same level as a town that's 4 times the size, but it is small enough to kind of avoid some of the issues that can go along with a large town. Some of the big town amenities that I'm talking about are like the Broadway shows or like the big name concerts and that sort of thing. But some like issues with large towns can be like crime and traffic. So here's the comparison of Kansas City and Des Moines. So you can see the population is about 4 times as large in Kansas City. We both have large amusement parks. Worlds of Fun is larger than Adventureland, but they're both very popular and well used and pretty old. We both have really large malls that attract people from all around. Our mall is actually a lot bigger, and it's only like 5 miles away from my house. So it's fun to go there and go to the shows and stuff like that. We also get the same amount of Broadway shows. And so these are some things that come to my mind when I think about the benefits of living in a large town. But then there's also the negative aspects, and Des Moines is way lower on those ones. So you can see the violent crime rate is almost 3 times the size in Kansas City per person than in Des Moines, so it's a lot safer. To kind of give you an example of this, my 16-year-old sister and I went downtown on like a Friday night over Christmas, and we were just hanging out. We were at an outdoor skating rink, and after we were done, we decided we didn't want to go home yet. So we decided just to wander around and see what we could do and go through the skywalks, and it's completely safe for us to do that, and there's fun things for us to do, and we didn't encounter any issues. So that's not something we would really want to do if we were in Kansas City or in downtown Memphis or anything like that. So it shows how Des Moines is a lot safer. You can also see the air quality index is a lot better in Des Moines. The national average is 50. So if you want higher air quality, then you want a lower number. So Kansas City is 8 above the average, and Des Moines is 9 below, even though it's a city which is not necessarily some place that's often associated with having good air quality. The cost of living is also much lower in Des Moines than it is in Kansas City, as I mentioned earlier. So in conclusion, Des Moines is a really great place to stay. There's amazing occupational opportunities and amazing entertainment opportunities. It has the small town simplicity and big city amenities. As you look forward to the future, as you're walking across the stage in graduation, consider the economy of the place you want to live. Consider the culture of the place you want to live. Consider Des Moines.